Hello everyone, this is Mayank and welcome back to my channel. So this video is a continuation of the previous video, like a couple of days back which we uploaded. So that was the analysis of 10 stocks which are good in a short term from a festive and holiday season or marriage season perspective. So this video is a continuation for the same where we will analyze the technical charts of those 10 stocks. So we'll discuss only the 5 in this video. So I'll discuss the 5 top 5 or first 5 what we discussed in the previous video. Remaining 5 is something which you can do, as I told in the previous video also. So this is not something like you need to do. If you think that this is worth your time or the stock is worth your time, then probably you can go ahead. Otherwise you can ignore this entire stock or 10 stocks and you can find some other stock if you are going to invest. Saying that, again, same thing, this is not a recommendation of any sort. This is some kind of my personal analysis and research. If you think it's helpful, you can go ahead with this. If you think it's not adding any value, and then probably you can just drop it off. And so second thing, if you really think it's adding a value and can help more and more people, do share the video with your friends and family and do hit the like button if you think it's helping you in some form or other. So let's start the discussion first. Lemon tree hotels is the first talk we're going to talk about. So I'll just remove the drawing. I'll show you why I'm creating these lines and everything. So it's very simple. Okay. So I've discussed this kind of pattern in the previous videos also, which when I showed technical analysis. So this is the base which it has fallen. Okay, many couple of times. When you say couple of times, you can see over here. So this is one time. This is a small one time, and these are a couple of times. So third, this is fourth, and this is the fifth time. So you can see it has closed here yesterday, and then from today it's moving up. So this is also kind of forming a base. So considering this is a very strong support for the stock, and once it start moving from here, I am suspecting the stock to cross its previous high because of the kind of demand, occupancy, and everything going on for the stock. To watch that thing, occupancy and details, some kind of detail on the stock, do watch the previous video. That's quite helpful if you want to understand the reason behind the destination or behind the price target. So for the price target, my analysis that will definitely cross the previous high, top high, and so we'll consider only the high as the target. Cross can grow to what limit? This is something cannot be certain on the current chart pattern. So from here, if you take the chart, there is a potential gain of around 25.65%. So time frame, if you ask me, probably I cannot give you a exact time frame kind of thing, but my understanding, it can this thing, it can be reached at around after the result of quarter four. That is after result of around 4, in the sense March result will come in April or May, probably May or June. So that time it should reach about this target. So this is one thing. Let's go about the next stock. Next stock is was Mahindra Holidays. Mahindra Holidays, if you see, this is Mahindra Holidays. So Mahindra Holidays, if you shall just cross it here. So one more thing I wanted to show you in the case of Lemon Tree, which I forgot. So I'll just go back to Lemon Tree. So if you go back to Lemon Tree and see something, Lemon Tree here, when it hit that support, right, it was kind of in very close to oversold territory and started moving up. So when something is going to oversold territory, there's a very good chance that it will go at least the median, if not median. The current pattern or current market scenario, it might cross in the overbought territory also. Okay, so this is one thing I wanted to highlight. Mahindra Holidays, uh, if you go back and see how its chart is placed, so Mahindra Holidays is something like this. Okay, so this is a very good price action. So if you don't know price action, I've discussed the previous videos also. So previous resistance has become support, so that's called price action. So this was the resistance. I'll just encircle the things. So this was the resistance, this was resistance, this was resistance, this was kind of almost resistance here, and after it crossed this part, this entire thing has become a support. So it takes support here, it took support here, and then it started falling and creating horizontal line over here. So this line has become a support which was a resistance before. So that means this action, this stock is going through a price action. So when when you go through a price action, there are a couple of things to notice. So this stock has not touched the price action point. So let me select this and delete. So stock has not touched the price action of previous price action. So I'll remove this part. But the idea that it will not fall below this. This is kind of a threshold for this particular stock, since if you consider the price action part. Now where the target and where everything else is there for us. So I'll expand this to make it look like more visibly clear. So this is something where you see, so this is also a kind of horizontal base. Okay, there is not, it's not a very strong base kind of thing, but it's kind of a mini base. So here it took some kind of support here, and then it's moving horizontal direction from here almost for a week or so. And since we are talking about short-term trade, we cannot say long-term visibility on this particular chart. And for this, I'm taking a channel pattern. So I should. This is looking to me like a channel. It has crossed a couple of times here, but overall, this looks like a channel to me. Now from here for this stock, if you see the target is around 7.5 to 8%. Okay. Now all these five stocks can have a different kind of target. Some has given it 20, 30, 25%. Lemon Tree Hotels. This is going to get 7.5%. Next stock might give even more than that or even less than this. So this is a kind of what you can do. You can create a small case also kind of thing. Like or small case, when I say, I don't mean that you go to small case and register there. You can avoid that also. Just create a bucket of 4 5 stocks like 50,000 if you want to invest, 1 lakh if you want to invest in these 4 5 6 stocks. Overall cumulative returns might be around 20 22% in a short term. If you say cumulative all the 5 or 10 stocks or any 3 4 stocks, if you pick from this list of 10 stocks, so this return can vary. So second stocks is Mahindra Holidays. Third stock was Delta Corp that day. So let's see Delta Corp. So Delta Corp is a basically casino operator, primary in India, right? So this is a very good looking chart. I think it's probably the best return you can get here only if you see in most certain returns. So if you see here, sorry, so this stock is moving horizontal in direction. This is a very kind of strong support almost for like 3 4 months. It's like the 2 3 months is like that only. Like so, this is a very strong support and it's moving horizontally from here. Why? Because nothing is actually happening in this stock, right? So once things start moving, this results of quarter 3 might start coming out, quarter 4 start coming out. People are traveling to Goa a lot. People have been traveling in this third quarter. People are going to travel more in December and January till Valentine week. A lot of people will go to Goa, and expenditure of capacity of people, spending capacity of people has increased a lot. We discussed all these things in the previous video. You can go and check. So this is the base which I'm targeting, where I'm seeing a very good kind of resistance. You'll see this is the kind of resistance what I'm looking for. So this is a very strong resistance. Again, I'll encircle these points. First is this one, second is this one, third again here, fourth again here, almost a fifth one here. I'll not circle that, but anyway. So there is this kind of strong resistance which we can hit, but this is a very far away from the current point. If you see, it's almost, if you see, almost around 37 38%. So uh, expecting the stock to move 30 to almost 40% in span of 2 3 months, then it might be a bit overkill or might be over optimism. But this is a kind of very strong resistance this stock can go, and there is nothing in between. So it might not take a very long time for the stock to rally if the results and everything falls in favor and market support that. But for some reason, it might take a little more time also. But it all depends on how the result comes across and how people perceive that result. But the kind of opportunity is definitely around 40%. If you have patience for maybe 6 months or 1 year, then you can enter this stock with this target in mind. Otherwise, depends on you what you're looking for. But this, there is nothing in between to say something. One small target what I can say is this. Okay, so sorry, this is something which is small target what we can see. But this is, I'm not very clear on this, but this is again you can consider if you are something looking for very short term target wise. This can give you around 10% kind of thing, 9 to 10%. So these are two different things for Delta Corp. Let's jump into the fourth stock. I believe fourth stock was Thangamile Jewelers, right? So they are Tamil Nadu based jewelry retail chain, or chain of retail shops basically. So if you go to Thangamile Jewelry, okay, I have drawn the chart already. So I'll just explain this chart which I drawn. Okay. So this is a very strong kind of again support. It's been taking from almost November, December, and it's almost 2 months. This has been in this direction because it rallied a lot, fell down, and then it's taking a very long support. It was here also for a very long time. It fell down and crossed till this point. So what I'm looking for, this is specifically from a short term perspective. There's no long term discussion here going on right now. Okay, so this is something again I'm taking support. I'll just move it close to this. Okay. Support, and this is the target which I'm looking for because this is again the previous target. Okay. Now, if you go to this point and see what kind of return you get, this already drawn 28.89, almost 28 to 30% return you can get. Time frame you can decide. My time frame for this is around the after the result of quarter 4. So almost everything I'm discussing depends on the result of quarter 4. Apart from Delta Corp, which might take a little longer also because the returns is much more higher than other peer group what we're discussing in this particular video. So this is Thangamil Jewelers. Okay, and this is also quite possibly it can give you that return 20 29% return. Okay. Other thing is that please don't consider again any recommendation as such. This is only personal analysis and personal kind of thing what I might decide to invest. And if you are liking this, finding it valuable, do like the videos and share with your friends and family. This will help the channel to grow. And fifth one is touchwood entertainment. So this is something which is, this stock is something which is completely into wedding related stuff. The only stock, not only stock, there's one competitor also. There's the second two stocks I think it's, which is in the market which are a lot into the wedding part. So first is this, and second one is matrimony.com. So matrimony provides wedding, this matchmaking services also, right? App and everything. I think Bharat Matrimony is owned by matrimony.com maybe. So, and they provide wedding management services as well. Okay, so this company is into that domain, and people who have been following for some time, they can actually make this pattern look better or understand what's kind of pattern going on here. People who are new or watching this for first time, so I'll explain how it comes across. Okay, so this is the kind of resistance. Okay, and a very small head and shoulder pattern will happen from here. So you can say this is the left shoulder, this is the head, and this is the right shoulder which is going to meet over here. Okay, so this is small head and sorry, almost a head and shoulder pattern, and this is something which I'm seeing a resistance for this stock. One time it touched here, one time it touched here, it fell on drastically from here, then started moving up. So this is something which I'm seeing as a target. So if you see from the current price point as of the recording of the video is somewhere here. If you see from here, the return what you can get is around 27, 28% return. Okay, and since this stock is completely into wedding and mostly into destination wedding, live events, and all these dance parties and all that things happen in the Big Fat Indian Wedding, right? So this company exactly deals with Big Fat Indian Wedding, which is and destination wedding basically, which is basically going on a lot in this current time. Because after 2 years, people are going to celebrate wedding like this kind of big functions. So people are completely into it, traveling, holidaying, spending a lot in any other form, whatever they can. Okay, and this stock sits as a very sweet spot, and this stock has a very sweet spot in that region. Also, to highlight this part, this stock is a debt-free company. Okay, and they are good profitable debt-free company. So that also is a very micro cap company, but they are profitable in many ways. Okay. So these are the five stocks what we have discussed in the previous video, detailed analysis. So you can watch that video, then you can watch this video and then understand how the fundamental works, how the business works, why we are discussing the reason behind it, and how this technical. Then you can come back and watch this video so that technical things you understand based on fundamental what the technical looks like. And if you club both these things together, then maybe you can decide one or two stocks, or maybe decide a bucket of stocks, or maybe you decide not to invest in any of these stocks. It's completely up to you. It's completely your decision. For the matter of fact, or just sake of discussion, we can talk about the remaining things also for a couple of minutes. Whenever, if you see, this is something which I have invested few months back, but the stock is not moving. And this is something actually which I didn't expect. I wanted it to move. Basically, I expected it to move, but it's not moving. It's moving kind of horizontally. Okay, but I still see Manyavar is kind of leader in this segment, so I still have kind of faith in the stock. The stock will today or tomorrow it will move in some positive direction. So if you see previous high also, okay, I invested not for short term, I invested for kind of medium term, but short terms, if you see, this is something what we can look for 8.4% kind of thing. And then if you go to next stock is sorry, Bata. So Bata, again, Bata is something which I'm not very much in favor of right now. I don't know why, because I think metro shoes might capture the market. Bata has more of pure formal play. Something which looks like to me. So this is here, and kind of something here you can look for. Okay, so this is something which you can understand yourself. Bata I'll skip for now. Then Radico Khitan is something which I'm very interested in because it's a brand, it's a big brand, and drinks are the flavor of the parties, right? So Radico Khitan has not moved a lot from long time, almost you can say from 3 4 months it hasn't moved a lot. So Radico Khitan is something which is very sweet spot. You can consider Radico Khitan also, considering the target and some kind of price from current price. So there are two targets what we can see from here. One is this like base. First is the biggest resistance what it has faced for some time, and then it goes to its all-time high. Okay, so these are two targets. First target, if you see, it comes around somewhere into 9%, and second target, if you see, it crosses somewhere around, if you start from here, goes up to 24 25%. Okay, So this is the kind of return what we can expect in Redigo Khitan. Okay. So since we have some time discussing these parts, then Thomas and Cook. Thomas and Cook, Redigo Khitan, I'm very interested in. I'll tell you what stocks actually I'm interested in. Thomas Cook, if you see, Thomas Cook sits somewhere here. I have invested it before and then exited at a point, and now I'm thinking to go back again to the stock. Thomas Cook just for the season, but they are always like kind of moved a lot. So this is again, there is not much scope left to see here. It's already moved a lot. The scope is pretty much very limited over here. So this is again something which you can decide whether you want to go with this stock or not. The scope is very limited. It's a good stock, but good stock in the sense from the current period of time, but it's kind of almost there where it should be. Then comes your SBI cards. SBI cards is again, I have mixed opinion. Okay, I'm just relying on the fact that people want to spend a lot, but some of them don't even have that money to spend. So they're relying a lot on credit cards, which is a bad habit. But let's not discuss that part now. So this is a kind of base, or I can say kind of support for this particular stock. Target and everything, maybe if what I'm assuming that goes correct, or maybe if you think that's what I'm assuming is correct, then maybe you can decide to research more on this stock. But for me, I'm not going to buy SBI cards because I'm not very confident whether people are using SBI cards a lot or they are more into SDFC and Axis compared to people who are spending. SBI, a lot of people took the cards. They have a second largest market share in India, but I'm not sure how many of them are using actually to spend money in this season. Okay, so uh, I'm not very confident on SBI cards. I'll exactly tell you what stocks I'm buying for the short term. So this target is around 22.69% to almost 22-23% in that range. So we discussed all these 10 stocks: Lemon Tree Hotels, Mahindra Radius, Delta Corp, Thangamal Jewelers, or it's not jewelers, it's jewelry. Touchwood Entertainment, Manyavar, Bata, Thomas and Cook, Redigo Khitan, SBI cards. The stock which I already have in my portfolio is Lemon Tree Hotels. Then I have Delta Corp. Then I have Manyavar. These three already I have. If I have to invest more, then probably I'll go with only Redigo Khitan, and I'll go with the Touchwood Entertainment. So these three stocks I will go with. And if still I'm left with some money, then probably I'll invest more in Delta Corp. So these are my pick of out of the 10 stocks. I'll repeat again: Redigo Khitan, and then sorry, Redigo Khitan, and apart from whenever Lemon Tree and Delta Corp which I have, I'll invest in Redigo Khitan. If I have to invest more, I'll invest in Delta Corp. So these are the four stocks which I'm going to target out of these 10 stocks. What you want to do, that decision is completely yours. You can decide to invest or not based on analysis and research. If you think this video is helpful, do like the video, do share the friends and family, and if you have any comments, any stock suggestion, any kind of even feedback, please do let me know in the comment section. That will help me to uh, get some suggestions on stocks, or maybe to improve my video quality, articulation quality, or narration quality. Anything as such, every feedback is welcome. So thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay safe.